India, beautifuls. I wanted to share a little bit about my experience here in India in hopes that it can shift a perspective. So I am in a part of India in the state of Punjab in a smaller city, and the people here are not used to white people. As a matter of fact, majority of people have never seen a white person in the flesh. Of course, they've seen them on TV and movies and so forth, but not in the flesh. And it causes quite a stir. And I'm referred to as a Gurry here. And I take no offense to that, but it has been interesting because I've been able to watch myself as I am having new experiences. And one of those experiences is being looked at in a very, very different way. Being something that people haven't seen has evoked a lot of different responses. Some people, they have this curious smile. Others, they look at me very suspiciously, even judgmentally. Others just gawk and stare to the point where they've actually ran into something. Others want to take my picture or want to have their picture taken with me. And this happens every time I go out, every day thus far. In this city, I have not yet seen another white person. And I was speaking with a friend and they said, "Oh, I couldn't handle that. How could you handle that? Like, it's so rude." And I was taken aback. I am not going to lie and say that it was super comfortable. I mean, I know that I am seen because I'm on different media platforms, but it's very different than being looked at that way in person. So I was taken a little bit aback, and one of the things that came to me was if I had never seen something. And the first thing that popped into my mind was a safari, and I thought of an elephant. If I had never seen an elephant, it could be a giraffe or a rhino, but I love elephants. But if I had never seen one of these animals, you betcha I'm going to stare. I'm going to take pictures. I want to get up close and personal with it, right? And that's sort of the perspective that I took going out in public, is that it wasn't me. It never is about the external, right? And there was excitement, and I noticed that when I was able to shift to that place, instead of being like, "Whoa, this is weird," to being like, "Well, this totally makes sense." I mean, if I was an elephant walking through the street, people would stop and take pictures too, right? And they would stare. And it's similar. And I noticed the moment that I shifted in my perspective, the response shifted. And I go to the gym every morning here, and I've been allowed now to walk by myself because people are used to seeing me that I'm not bombarded, because I take the same path, and these people mostly are familiar with me now. And it's funny because in the beginning, the shopkeepers, some of them would be like really curious, but others were really stern and suspicious and portrayed that they really were not happy that I was there. And I didn't let that change my spirit, who I am, the smiley, hello, here I am, Marty. And every day I would walk by, I would smile, and I would be Sat Sri Akal. And it was amazing to watch within like 2 or 3 days them completely melt. And I feel so incredibly safe in my journeys to the gym, because now these shopkeepers, they're still curious, right? Oh, there goes the Gurry. But they're standing and they're watching, And there is this sort of connection that happened just from understanding and kindness. If I had a chip on my shoulder about them staring at me, there is no way they would have warmed up to me. There's no way that they would be standing on their store stoops making sure that I was safe going by. And I thought this was such an important thing to mention, because it's not only when we travel abroad. I know I used to have this, I know it was a trauma response, but I used to think that if somebody looked at me just even in a neutral face, I felt like it was a threat. And my world felt very scary. And I was always aggressive and defensive. And when we can shift our perspective, when we change the story, it completely changes our experiences. So the invitation today, if you are so willing, is to find something within your experience that you would like to experience differently, and see if you can change the story or change your perspective on it, and see how that experience automatically starts to shift. I thank you so much for listening to this perspective. And as always, I love that you joined the conversation. I am eternally grateful for the donations. I am thrilled beyond words for the support that I receive here. And until we speak again, please be well.